Let's go.
The Bulls have decided, and with a resounding voice, you people just had to beat the dead horse enough to where it's now spiraling across multiple timelines and slipped into the multiverse.
That's Call of Duty Zombies right there. That's a CAC W.
We've covered the idea of zombies countless times, but
Dead
hey,
Island
it gets the
2,
most views
no,
on this
don't
channel,
even get me.
probably because most people view me as a Left 4 Dead and zombie channel. So this week, we had to dive back into the genre one more time for the Why You Wouldn't Survive series. And oh lord, did I want to keep pushing this off because of the whole separate dimensions and timelines writing style. But alas, here we are.
Like, chat, every single person I ever introduced the COD Zombies story to, every single person is like, what did I just read? For example, JC reacting to Togger Totem. Like, you have polar opposite reactions, like JC compared to like me, or just anyone that just reads the Chronorium, you know? So
this week, we cover the zombie you may or may not see coming, endless horde mode, Rick and Morty level dimensional hopping, ancient beings.
Rick and Morty, bro. No.
This week, we are telling you why you wouldn't survive Call of Duty's zombie apocalypse.
What map would you make it up to? If you had to start from Nocturne Totem, what map would you make it up to? I wouldn't make it past Nocturne Totem. We love
Just a quick footnote, this will be the Nazi Zombies universe set within Treyarch's ever-growing zombie lore, and we will not be covering exo-zombies or Infinite Warfare's take on the zombie outbreak either. Also, due to the severity of branching timelines,
they just forgot World War II zombies. Wait, when was this video made? They forgot World War II zombies. They forgot World War II zombies. They said no IW, no X.
now, onto the Why You Wouldn't Survive portion. It's important to note we will be keeping things into one timeline and into the present. No time traveling. Now, it's important to note about these zombies, they don't infect people traditionally like the generic zombie does. They do not bite you, you get infected, and you change. As only exposure of element 115 to...
Chat, that is so weird. I've played this game for like 10 years, and it's really taken me up until now to realize that no zombie bites you. There's no zombie that bites you. It's all 115. Unless your name's Richtofen, then.
To a dead body could resurrect them, which may be the case for Romero since he was dragged away off-screen and exposed to 115 by
surprising.
Zombies. I guess they saw value in a mind ripe with zombie knowledge. I'm just hoping they don't turn to me.
Because listen, that's like the core statement of a zombie. Crimson Nosferatu. Get your silly ass, bro. That's in chaos, bro. That shit don't matter.
Turn me into a god zombie.
That shit don't matter.
Becoming a god tier zombie. Any and all biological creatures could be converted into a zombie archetype if exposed to divinium, including dogs into hellhounds, monkeys into, well, space monkeys. This all probably stemming from either Japan or Germany. Let's just say
who's saying they would survive?
935 lie dormant after the defeat of Nazi Germany for decades, working on the pure use of divinium into making zombies and other tech and weaponry. Let's just throw out there, maybe it broke out. How would it factor into us not surviving? Well, there's the whole ordeal of the troops of this vastly growing army once people did die one by one. The normal run-of-the-mill zombies themselves aren't all that powerful, biting, smacking, and punching you in succession to maul you to death. Being able to not only survive with their limbs being dismembered, but will crawl towards survivors at any cost to kill them. They have the ability, much like Left 4 Dead Infected, to jump up and scale up high places, so getting the high ground will not always be advantageous. They will break through barricades with enough time as well, so making sure to...
Isn't that funny? These zombies can leap. They can leap buildings. We've seen that in Die Rise. But when you just run around in a circle, they just go, huh? Where he go? Huh? Okay. And they just follow you right until they die.
To be in a fortification that's more than just 2x4s and wilted wood would be much more preferable. They can also dig their way underground like a diglet and pop up anywhere that doesn't have reinforced flooring. Even then, powerful zombies could burrow their way through even that reinforced flooring with enough force. But like any other zombie apocalypse, they develop their strength in numbers at first. While the zombies were created in order to be controlled, that just wasn't possible at the time of their creation, and would and could be used as a slew of independent variables that could be dumped into an area to overwhelm forces.
Dumpster truck! Can I get a dumpster truck?
Away. Zombies can be created into a number of different variance, whether it be widened experimentation, species gaps, or dependent on what elements or equipment is attached to them at their bodies during infection from the divinium. Crawler zombies have devolved into a mostly anglerfish-like state. Point being that they are a head with mostly just a gaping, tooth-filled mouth. They, however, have no use for eyes and really don't even have eyes to speak of, and most likely either rely on echolocation to sound out where a survivor is, or rely on reading the life force of survivors mentally or through a survivor's aura to hunt them down. Regardless, they earn their name by crawling around on all fours at about the same pace as a regular zombie, and will exude a green gas behind themselves that affects a player similar to the early stages of Nova Gas's effects, temporarily giving partial blindness, toxic air to restrict breathing.
See, like, chat, you get one whiff of that IRL, you dead. Are you kidding me? Chat, a smell that you can see and you're telling me you'd live?
Napalm zombies, whether they were created or changed by environmental factors, will constantly be on fire, and if approaching a survivor close enough, can ignite and explode themselves in a flurry of ember and bone shrapnel that can be fatal within direct close range, while also leaving a roaring fire in their place after detonation.
F Shangri-La.
While it would be useful to blow them up within hordes, they can
take
a hell of a lot of damage before rupturing. Plus, the ensuing flames, if done indoors or in a dry forest-like area, could lead to a very fast wildfire that could trap you or force you out of a fortified area.
This is why, I mean, bro, you would not survive the napalm.
Next, coming burrowing from underneath at a high pitch, the Shrieker, much like the siren from Killing Floor, can scream at such a high pitch rate that it can actually not only rupture your eardrums, but can actually blind you temporarily. The Shriekers can be faster than usual zombies and will attack in a similar manner.
Y'all saying you survived this? Huh?
Once they have picked up their prey. Much like what I said with the Screecher or whatever, if they find you by yourself and there's no zombies around, they can easily scream and alert them to your location. But they're mostly of a hive-mind intelligence once they've been controlled, so there might not be a use for that. But either way, if you're deaf, it's going to be a little bit harder to fight the undead. While we didn't take the time to discuss the partner group to 935, the Japanese subsidiary Division 9, they did make even more brutal zombie types that would prove to be even more savage and kill-thirsty. Mutated with what is most likely plant-related spores, this hulking behemoth will develop tree trunk-like appendages and can only be brought down by destroying the sac-like.
If I ever got sucked into a thrasher, I'd just take death.
Growths on its body. They can launch spores at people to paralyze you and then slowly devour you whole. That's right, they can eat you up in one gulp like a snake. Their strength alone is enough to kill you with one swing, so trying to take it on would not be advisable in the slightest, unless you have some serious firepower, and unless you want to be a meal for a tree wanting revenge on vegetarians. Jumping jacks can also start popping up out of nowhere, using the ability of teleportation in short distances.
You would not survive jumping jacks.
And sneak up on unweary survivors, dependent on the natural production of electricity that can burst forth upon death.
Where's your aim?
Have powerful jaws to sink their teeth into your flesh, and with the ability to teleport, having any kind of defensible doorway or entrance would be nullified as a pop right through your defenses and ate you while you slept. Some 115 experiments go underneath the skin and can hide themselves underneath the flesh of a regular zombie, turning them into catalysts. Once they...
Did he just associate ether with chaos? Chat, I gotta go. Chaos, we can leave that one up.
Of either lightning, water, poison, or fire, they can rupture forth, all blowing up upon death. Wow, zombies really are mostly only good for kamikazeing upon death, aren't they? They're just all blowing up. It's kind of like developers just don't know what to do and they just kind of make the boomer types. 115 can...
Damn! This man need to relax, bro. He going crazy. He's just ripping it in, bro.
Also latch on to monkeys, who, for better or worse, don't focus too heavily on killing you, but will primarily focus their attention onto disabling 115-related machinery and weapons, lessening your chances of fighting against the zombie horde. Now, don't get me wrong, a feral monkey trying to rip you to shreds sounds terrifying enough, but for a zombie type to go after basically your only good defense and offense against the dead is equally as terrifying, because if they are successful,
well, tell me you survived Garad Crovy Dragons. Garad Crovy Dragons.
A Romero when he was transformed into the director. While mostly a gimmick as a game boss, this Thor-like behemoth of a zombie wielding electrified hammer-like stage light can take nuclear levels of gunfire, even from modified pack-a-punch
weapons. I'm gonna just hit y'all up if I'm ever in a situation.
Into a bloody pulp with a stage light, and if shot or if he hits someone, will become enraged and become faster and even more violent. If any zombie zombies are within a nearby radius of a swing of the stage light will become electrified and shock survivors that are unlucky enough to approach them. While Mr. Romero has passed on, it doesn't go without saying that if someone of a creative mind like his were to be converted, we may be facing an impossible, undying challenge like him. Boss zombies, much like Romero, will also start cropping up across the globe, threatening continued existence, much like Brutus, adorned with high combat riot armor and a human conscience, or the Blight Father, who cannot be killed while transforming from a few regular zombies.
Bro, if I saw the Blight Father in real life, I'd kill myself, okay? I'm not letting Mr. Two-Face looking, PP slime looking, long arm looking come even close to me, gamer.
Normal artillery or human weaponry. Its invincible transformation leads to a walking quadrupod that can spit vomit on you from long distances.
If I ever grow up by that, get me out of there.
Lacerate you with its giant claws and mow you down. Panzer Soldats are heavily armed, almost Big Daddy-like fortified zombies that use flamethrowers to char their prey while also grappling prey from long distances to bring them in quickly, or using their rocket packs to close the distance. Basically just Big Daddy zombies with more attachments. Now, food and water may be hard to come by, as these varieties of the dead come knocking at your door, diminishing whatever ammo or quality of weapons you have. You are not going to be able to keep a good stock of ammo against just billions of zombies over time. But you are
you hear about the mystery box game? You hear about the wall buys? They got all the ammo you need, bro.
They got all the ammo. Canned goods and crops of the world are destroyed in the everlasting chaos, even after the
round robin, pick up a power vacuum, I'll be
eat the flesh of zombies. Now, before you're saying that's cannibalism and really can't be safe to eat, let me just say that exposure to zombie blood and flesh will not relatively infect people. Much like any other meat, you could fry or cook up some zombie giblets after taking out a horde, and the only real side effect, besides tasting horrible, possibly...
Chat, what zombies YouTuber would make it all the way to the end?
The only manageable way to fend yourself off against the progressively thicker and stronger hordes of the undead would be able to find yourself weapons or machinery modified by Element 115, basically fighting the metaphorical fire with fire. Weapons implemented with 115's design in mind would be manufactured like the Wonderwolf and ray gun, but as stated earlier, Maxis had these restricted to mostly beta models that were never mass-produced.
F you, Maxis! This whole Maxis' fault, man.
It would probably stay within army and military outposts, but you probably wouldn't be seeing any of these. Perks like Juggernog and faster speed would allow you to be more versatile and able to survive against the way.
Chat, when you drink Juggernog, do you just get like a six-pack or something?
Waves of the growing dead. If you're willing to pull a Bioshock and drink an unknown chemical that may or may not have these adverse side effects in the long term, and that's only if you are lucky enough to have these vending machines that dispense these miracle cures readily available where you are positioned. Everyone thinks that they can just drink a Juggernog, but you gotta think, are they going to be around as much as Coca-Cola vending machines? I don't think so. I'm sure they would be developed in limited quantity before the zombie outbreaks, but they would only be dispersed relatively close to research centers.
Just don't down, idiot. Just don't down.
Security compounds and military outposts associated with Divinium projects. Military complexes would also see to weaponizing 115 to make Nova Gas, a nerve agent that can blind, debilitate, burn the flesh, and
don't worry, dude. I got death perception.
Instantly kill an individual right as they breathe it before they even hit the floor from suffocation. The second you breathe in that gas, you are going to turn into a zombie. If Soviets or other major countries use these scientifically deadly devices to get their hands on the 115 version of Nova Gas and refine it, we would see a gas that would pretty much instantaneously convert people into zombies. A conversion rate completely unseen to this day, even comparable to 28 weeks later World War Z and Phineas and Ferb, which did it within a few seconds. So if you did side with the controller of the zombies or not, you may be facing different factions of humans whose ideals run parallel to yours and fight you within these powerful weapons and tech. Vaporizing you into goo with a ray gun, or incinerating you with Maxis, sacrificing the planet to see his little girl again. Either way, it seems like we are ultimately screwed when it comes
F you Maxis, you peepee,
to the variety of zombies, the overpoweredness of the weapons that could be used against us, to humans that could turn against us, to
all I figured out is that Maxis is the reason I wouldn't make it. I thought this video was pretty funny because he brought up chaos, and it's like, I don't know, that's kind of it. That's kind of it. But chat, big clappers. I would definitely not survive.